I made a few videos about vegetarianism occasionally, not that many, but a few, and there's always been a kind of healthy exchange of comments under it. And one comment that comes up again and again is really interesting. It's to do with factory farming as opposed to hunting animals as hunter-gatherers did in the past, and as people say they would like to do now. Many people say that people who aren't committed vegetarians, people who do eat meat, but have some reservations about it, often say, well, I don't like factory farming, but if we could just eat meat that we kill ourselves, that would be okay. If we all took our bows and arrows, our shotguns out into the woods and shot the rabbits and the deer and anything else and just ate that way, then it would be alright, or it would be marginally better. I don't know if it is really. I was reading this article in Scientific American a couple of days ago, and it was to do with happiness in animals, which is almost impossible to measure. But to the extent you can measure it through things like stress levels, cortisol levels, different things, measures for stress, animals in the wild are enormously more stressed than animals in captivity, and domesticated animals in captivity are the best off of all. The happiest animals are ones that are brought up in captivity as domesticated animals, like pets, for example, or indeed animals raised for slaughter. Assuming they're not badly treated in slaughterhouses or something like that. If they're kept in what are usually referred to as humane conditions, then they have a less stressful life than the life of the wild. And yet people want to do this going back to nature thing. And what this article was saying, which I think I would agree with, is because we have this very romantic idea of nature, it links to our our mythologies around freedom and naturalness and those kind of things, and our kind of anthropomorphic feelings towards animals that are in captivity, as you might say, or animals that are pets, are domesticated. We wouldn't like to feel domesticated ourselves. We wouldn't like to be in captivity ourselves. We would rather, we think, have a rough, tough life in the wild than an easy time of it, curled up in front of a fire, or well-fed but destined for the slaughterhouse. But that's anthropomorphism. Animals aren't like that. Animals don't. So the theory goes, at least. Animals don't have that longing for some kind of existential freedom that humans are supposed to have, given the choice. And of course, animals aren't able to make this choice. But if they were given the choice and were able to make it, they would probably prefer a life of calm and peace and plenty, followed by a quick and relatively painless death in a low-stress environment, than a life in here, a life of a rabbit in there, which is all about staying away from predators, looking for food, quick as you can, getting it back to the burrow, and hunkering down before something comes along and kills you. It's not a very pretty picture of nature, but that's what nature is largely like. At least it's much more stressful. So I don't understand that. What I'm not saying, of course, here is anything to do with raising animals and breeding animals specifically for that. I'm talking about the conditions once they're up and running, you know what I mean? I think raising animals for any purpose really is a bit pointless. Yeah, okay, that'll do.